Hey everybody, this is Chauncey Jr., Real Tax Business Success. We're excited again today because we're doing another expert interview for our virtual Tax Pro Success Summit coming up here in a couple of days on July 29 and 30. I'm celebrating 30 years in the tax industry, and one of our speakers that we got coming in is David Stone, and he's our resident IRS expert when it comes to tax resolution, and huge business right now and going to be even bigger as months and years go by. So David, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, thank you, Chauncey, and congratulations on that 30-year anniversary, man. That's quite impressive, or depressing. I'm not sure how you look at it.
That's right. You reminded me of something when we talked a month or two ago about something that you got your hands on, an early manual or product or something that I was selling, and you brought me back to, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. But there's stuff out there that I've just sold over the years and don't even remember what it was, and it's really fun to have somebody mention it and hold it up and say, hey, remember this? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I do remember that.
It was a 1999 booklet set that you sold at that time, pre-DVD, pre-everything, before you even invented DVDs. If you could imagine that time. It was a set of like 30 books that you sold for some insane amount, and it was still sitting here in my cabinet as we're going through everything.
That's wild. Well, one of the things that I believe this summit, one of the benefits of this summit is the variety of the different speakers, and everybody's got an expertise, and you are the IRS resolution expertise. And would you speak a little bit about where we are as an industry and how this relates to the business you're in? Because there's probably a lot of people scratching their heads going, it makes a lot of sense that this is going to be a big deal, and maybe I need to pay attention. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
I would love to. I was just listening to the news just this morning, and one of the things that they were saying is that there's over 30 million people unemployed right now. And they went into all sorts of statistics. There's 7 million people behind on their car payments, that are more than 90 days behind on their car payments at this point. And 1 in 3 people in the United States are behind on at least one of their bills. This is crazy. And when they're behind on those bills, the bill that you fall behind first on is the IRS. I know that because, they're the last ones to knock on the door. When I can't afford to pay my electricity or can't afford to pay the IRS, I'm going to pay my electricity first because that's going to be going off next week. It's going to take the IRS 2-3 years to get caught up and catch up with us. So the statistics that I'm hearing, from what we should expect in the future is that bankruptcy is going to be going through the roof. People that can't pay their IRS taxes is going through the roof. Did you know that part of this CARES Act, that they allowed employers not to be paying their employee taxes over to the IRS for a while? Whoever thought this up is just insane, because I've been there. I've fallen behind on my taxes. It's, when you're in business, it's hard to keep up. You have to decide what you're going to pay. And the IRS is always second because I could catch up with them. The sad part is that the IRS doesn't always want to be caught up with. So what we're going to see in the next few months, once the IRS starts opening up, hopefully the economy starts opening up again, is that people are going to have to start dealing with the IRS. People are going to have to start dealing with all their back bills and everything. And one of the things that always amazes me is one of the questions that everybody asks me when they start getting into resolution is, if they can't afford to pay the IRS, how are they going to afford to pay me? And the answer to that is, when people are in need of help and they think you could help them, they can always come up with the money to pay you first. You don't take IOUs on this kind of stuff. You get paid up front, of course, because if they're not paying the IRS, they're not going to pay you. But you get that money up front because, they need help. They are scared of the IRS. The 3 scariest letters in the whole language is IRS.
It's true. That's very true. And I think there's a lot of tax accounting professionals over the years that have, quote, sat on the sidelines related to dealing with representing the IRS representation part of the business, and dealing with people with back taxes, and there's a certain segment of those folks that are like, they're watching other people get rich. I mean, they're watching other people getting $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a client instead of their $300 tax return, and they're going, well, I'm missing something here. And so, what do you say to those people that they've maybe by default have put their toe in the water a little bit? What do you say? Do you tell them to get serious about this? Because if there's ever a time to get serious about it, and as far as you have a short window before this tidal wave comes, aren't we in that right now?
Well, we're at the point where we should be getting ready and educating ourselves.
That's what I mean.
The way we got started in this business is when I was working for the IRS. When I left the IRS, I started, dealing with collection issues. I was realizing that, when I was working at the IRS, people didn't know what they were talking about, and they were taking advantage of their clients. So I started doing this on my own, and all the accountants around town were just referring me more work than what I could accept. So eventually, after I trained a couple of people in my office, one of the guys said, David, you created this great software. Why are you not selling it to other accountants? So that's what we started doing. Ingenious idea by one of my great employees. He's become a partner in one of my businesses and all this other stuff. But what it is, it's basically, it's not hard to deal with the IRS. It's pretty straightforward. There's only 8 things they could do to you, and 7 things you could do in response. Once you perfect those 7 or 8 things, you've got it made. The IRS has a book that they go by, and if they don't follow the rules in the book, you win. But they have to follow those rules in the book, and you can remind them what those rules are. So when it comes to set up an installment agreement, they have to follow this. And as long as you know that, you're in good shape. What our software does is, besides giving you monthly classes every month on education points of what, different things the IRS you could do and what you could do to them, what they could do to you, and how to negotiate it, is the software will give you the exact answers. So if you come to me and say, David, I owe the IRS $100,000, I could pull up the software and say, well, the IRS is willing to accept $1,500 a month. You can't afford that, then maybe we could do an offer in compromise. They'll accept $10,000 in an offer. It will tell you the exact numbers that the IRS is looking for. It's a science. It's not a guesstimation. And you just have to have the confidence, which is what we try to instill in people, that they can do this, because it's not rocket science. Anybody can do it, really.
That's good. And so one of the things that a mentor of mine many decades ago said to me was, a lot of times, even the one-eyed, what is it? The one-eyed man is king. What is that saying? I know it is. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And that is so important for today, for right now, is when you have so many people that are having IRS problems and issues with delinquent whatever, and it's going to come back to haunt them on their tax return. And most people don't know what they're doing. Even if you just got one eye, like even if you're halfway good, you're going to clean up. And when you start adding tools like your expertise of your company and the software tools and things that you guys provide, it completely gives you an unfair advantage compared to the other options that are out there. So what should people not be doing? Like, what should a tax or accounting professional not be doing right now? Okay, they just finished tax season, they extended tax season. We got X number of months heading into the end of the year. What should they not be doing? Like, give them some words of wisdom on, don't go down this road.
Well, I'm sure you've talked to a lot of accountants also that have said in the last couple of months that if this July thing ever became permanent, I'm quitting this business. Or this year-round tax season is just, crazy. I can't handle it. Nobody could handle it. This is, nobody got their vacation in May. So people are just going at full speed year round. So I would imagine that you know that these people know that their clients are unemployed right now, or they're dealing with different businesses that are having issues. You know, it's hard to make payroll right now. It's hard to be able to, you know, when you own a restaurant, I don't see how these restaurants in California are staying open right now when we're not allowed to have indoor seating. It's a lot of money to keep those restaurants open. So I don't know how they're doing this. I was just at the mall the other day and, you know, there's no indoor seating and the rent there is over 10 grand a month, plus 20% of tickets. So I don't know, 20% of gross tickets. So this is just beyond me. So what, you know, our typical client is, you know, either an individual that hasn't filed for 3 or 4 years. You know, they come in and file their taxes with us every 3 or 4 years because that's what they do. They don't believe in filing every year. You know, that's crazy to file every year. So they come in, we help them get their back tax returns filed, which, you know, if you're doing 3 or 4 returns for the same person at a time, it becomes quite easy. You know, once you figure the first year, the next 3 years are all the same, and you're in that mode to help them. So you can help them in that way. Then after that, you figure out that they owe the IRS maybe $10,000 or $20,000, or maybe another accountant down the street did their returns for them, and they're going to refer them over to you to help them. Because like you said, I could be that one-eyed man that knows more than that guy down the street. And all that I have to do is let the other accountant down the street know what's going on and that I could help his clients. We work with attorneys, accountants, financial advisors. All these people are willing to refer to you.
So do you suggest, like there's 2 schools of thought in this business that I can tell. It's go after other accountants or lawyers or people that can refer you business, or go straight directly to somebody that's got the bleeding neck and they need help. And so do you do both? Do you do one or the other? What's the best way to go about getting new leads for these kind of clients?
Well, when you're new to the business, you want to make sure that everybody knows that you're able to do this. You know, like you said, not a lot of accountants are able to do what they're supposed to be doing. It's not a difficult thing to do. That's a scary part. So they should be able to represent their clients. And, you know, if you just talk to the IRS, even sometimes the IRS officers are willing to work with you and teach you the ropes. So even, you know, the other day I was working on an offer in compromise with one of my clients, and the revenue officer was working with me and I wasn't seeing the light. And they kept telling me, David, you know, if he increased his withholding, he would get his offer accepted. David, if he increases withholding. So about, you know, 2 or 3 conversations with him, it's just like, oh, here's their new W-4. She's like, accepted. So I think he owed $140,000 and we settled for a little bit under 30. I think it was 28 something. So he was happy as a lark, and he wasn't getting married because of this. His wife, who was an attorney, would not marry him because of this back tax debt. So they got married in February. So it's my fault they got married.
That's right. Well, as people gather and as people are coming together, any tidbits of information that you would say, hey, you need to come listen to my presentation because of this. And I'm going to leave you this last word for them. Why should people that are signed up, because there's 8 spots, there's 6 or 7 speakers, why should they not miss your presentation?
It would be crazy to miss my presentation. What we're going to cover in my presentation is the basics of IRS resolution. We're going to go through the 7 things of, you know, what's going to happen after COVID, the 7 things that the IRS might be able to do to your clients, and the 7 things that you're able to do back and get into their good graces and help your clients out. You could get your client put into an uncollectible status. You can get your client put into an installment agreement. You know, if they owe over $100,000 or over $52,000, your clients could lose their passports. And if you could help your client get them into an uncollectible status or something, they'd be happy to help. They'd be happy to pay you to do this for them. And that's really what we're trying to show, is that you could pay people. People are happy to pay you to help them out. So we're going to go through the steps of what you could do to help them. We'll show you the math of how the IRS does it. And we're going to show you how to make the sale to your client to make them say, that's all you're charging me? And they'll be happy to give you a check right there on the spot. Because like I said, you know, you don't want to take, you're not going to give these people credit, obviously. But they will pay you right then and there and get the ball rolling right away. That's what people are looking forward to, is getting into the good graces of the IRS, being able to sleep at night and have their wife not mad at them.
That's right.
Because you've seen a lot, most marriages break up because of financial issues. So you put financial issues and IRS issues in the same bag, it's not a pretty road to be following.
Well, sounds like you're a marriage counselor and a financial guru and IRS guy. So, well, we're excited to have you come. We got you. What day do we have you? We have you on.
I'll be on the 29th.
We have you on the 29th on day one. So whether you are, we want everybody to join all the sessions, but definitely don't miss the IRS resolution session. It is coming up July 29th and 30th. It is my virtual Tax Pro Success Summit. By the way, this 30-year anniversary, yeah, I've been in the tax industry 30 years. We decided to make these tickets $30 just because we want you to pay. You got to pay something to come in here. And so we thought, let's just give everybody a special deal and only charge. We could charge thousands of dollars for this. We're going to charge $30. So there's no reason why you can't sign up. It's right there for our 30-year anniversary. And we not only do we want you to sign up, but we want you to grab a colleague, a tax pro friend, some people that you know from other parts of the country, pass the word to them, get them to sign up, and we're going to get rolling at noon on East Coast time on noon on the 29th. We're going to go all day, and then we're going to go all day the next day on the 30th. That's it for today.
I'm going to guess $30 barely covers your costs if it does at all.
No, it's not about that. It's $30 is just a friendly way just to go with the 30-year anniversary. So we want people. We don't want to do this for free. We want you to put some skin in the game. We want you to join us. We don't want you to miss any sessions. Now we could have charged $2,000 or $3,000. We're not. We're just charging $30, and we know that this will be a pivotal period of time where you can watch from your house, from your home, from the beach, wherever you are. You can watch, have your notes ready, have your strategy ready, maybe even have some staff hanging out where you guys can strategize in between sessions. We're going to do this thing for you. We're going to lay it out on like a silver platter, just right for you to go to the next level. So we're looking forward to it. The timing is perfect, because then when we flip the coin over and we get into August and we're moving towards the end of the year, if there's ever time to do what needs to be done to properly prepare, it's now. And guess what? Your competition's not going to do this. You will leapfrog. This is a great time to leapfrog ahead of your competition, because they're not going to do just some basic stuff that we're going to show you how to do at this summit to get to the next level. So that's all we got for today. Thank you very much, David. Everybody sign up, get your $30 ticket, and we will see you very soon. See ya.
Thank you, Chauncey. Good luck to you, and congratulations on your 30 years.
You betcha.